gravy. Hey everyone, so in today's recipe, we're going to be doing yogurt biscuits and gravy. And now I do have a recipe for vegan Southern buttermilk biscuits, and they are super, super good, but I really wanted to find kind of like a healthier, at least a little bit healthier of a recipe. So I ended up finding this recipe for yogurt biscuits, where essentially you substitute all of the butter and all of the fat for yogurt. And I know what you guys are thinking. Yes, it is not, as rich. It is not entirely the same, but actually the results are pretty good. Once you slather on that creamy sausage gravy, I mean, anything is going to taste good. Both of the recipes, both components, super easy to make, so I can't wait to show you guys this recipe. So of course, a proper biscuit recipe starts with buttermilk. I have a half a cup of soy milk, and I think that that is going to yield the thickest kind of vegan buttermilk. And to that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and I'm just going to let that rest for right around 15 to 30 minutes until it thickens up. Now for the dry mix, I have 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Recipe is going to be all down below, and you do want to whisk it all together really thoroughly, or else you're going to have, a clump of baking powder there, and you don't want that. Afterwards, it's just super simple. You just pour in that buttermilk mixture and then pour in a half a cup of your thickest kind of soy yogurt or a non-dairy based yogurt that you can find. I find that the thick consistency helps with the dough a little bit more. And then just like biscuit dough, you don't want to overwork it, or else that gluten kind of develops and the biscuits get tough. So with a fork, just mix it until it slightly comes together and it can still be crumbly when you pour it out. So this dough is still a little bit crumbly, and I don't want to overwork it again. So I'm just going to use the palms of my hands to kind of nudge it and bring this dough together. Now, because there is no fat, there is no butter, it's going to be harder to work layers into this dough, but you can do it. It just requires a little bit of elbow grease. So you can see what I'm doing here is I'm pressing this into, basically a rectangle, and I'm going to fold it in twos for right around 3 to 4 times. And that way it kind of presses the dough together, but it's going to make some of the layers for me manually that I can't do with just butter and flour. Now you guys saw that even with the rolling pin, I'm just kind of pressing down, pounding down instead of rolling out, which I think works the gluten and works the dough a little bit more. And then just take some cookie cutters or biscuit cutters, and this dough will make you right around 6 of these. And I want to say that they're about 1 inch thick. I don't know if you guys, but I love that sound of how when you press the biscuit cutter into the dough and you get that kind of little bit of wind pushback. So this is the part that I indulge a bit on. I melted some vegan butter and I'm just gonna brush a light layer on top of the biscuits. And then when I take out the biscuits, I'm going to rebrush it. And that way the biscuits get some color, it can get some browning as well. And these guys go into a 400-degree oven for right around 12 to 15 minutes until it puffs up and then gets all nice and brown. So job's not done yet. Now you have the gravy, but it's super simple. So I have a pan over medium-high heat and I'm adding 3 vegan sausages. And I'm just using the spoon right now to break them up into smaller pieces. And you might want to do this actually off the pan. It might be a little bit easier as well. And to that, I'm going to add right around a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. And that's just going to add a nice savoriness to it, followed by 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour. And I'm looking to cook the flour for right around 1 to 2 minutes just to get rid of some of that raw flavor before I add in a 1/2 cup of soy milk, and that's going to thicken it all up. So once you get it up to that boil, it's going to be 1 to 2 minutes before all of that gravy thickens up. And keep in mind that as it cools a little bit, it'll thicken up some more. After which you can just turn off the heat, adjust it with some black pepper, maybe a little bit of salt to your liking, and this gravy is good to go. Oh my gosh, how good does that look? Super creamy with chunks of vegan sausage. These biscuits baked up so well. They're nice and tall, and you can actually see some layers in some of them. But the texture is going to be different. There's hardly any fat in this, and I would describe the mouthfeel to be more like a really soft English muffin, actually, and it's quite nice. Oh my gosh, it does not get any better than this. Like, if you guys were craving biscuits and gravy, this recipe is it. It's like creamy and comforting and everything just goes together. It's amazing. So I top it off with a little bit of green onion, which really brightens up everything, and a nice crack of black pepper, and that's it, guys. Anyways, I hope you all have enjoyed this yogurt biscuits and gravy recipe. I know I did, and I've been thinking about it for quite some time now. As usual, if you want to see more recipes like this, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys all again real soon, okay? Bye!